What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Pete's Carport, and welcome back to a very sad looking Lexus sc300. This is a 1996 manual that is a stock manual with a W58 trans, so pretty rare car. And if you're new to the channel, we've been putting on a Duraflex Vspeed body kit that has not been going perfect. So we left off where I had kind of completed most of the major stuff, and I just got overwhelmed, decided to put it away for a little bit, and I was gonna get to it at the beginning of this month. Unfortunately, I went to move it at the beginning of the month, and I hit that pile of dirt over there. So I did not realize how low the front end was compared to that over there, and unfortunately it tore the bumper off. It actually acted like a snowplow. As you can see, there's still dirt all up under there. What I need to do is get this bumper off. I need to come up with a way to mount this, maybe using those bumper clips. I don't really like the way those look. I always feel like those look cheesy, but in this case it might be a super necessary thing because of how many bolts and stuff hold on a Lexus sc300 bumper. Any of you guys that know out there that have this car, it is a big pain in the ass to take off this front bumper when using stock holes and stock bolts. So what I want to do is figure out how we can get this mounted back on for easy pulling on and pulling off and putting back on, so that we can bring it up on things like this ramp possibly in the future, because there's absolutely no way it's going up there now. And also I probably just need to raise this up since they are on coilovers. Well, let's get started, guys. I can't wait to jump back into this car. We're going to get a lot done on this episode, mainly focus on this front bumper and finishing off hopefully some of these side panels, and then we're going to move on to paint. Yes, paint. I can't wait to show you guys my plan with this, so stay tuned. So you can see it broke along the inside. This clip was screwed in. This was actually screwed into the bumper panel. And then on the other side, it actually broke this piece. So we have broken piece on a fender and then a broken piece on the actual bumper. So if you come over here, this just snapped out right here. Now I want to try to figure out a completely different method of attaching that, because those are the 2 points that need to kind of be bowed in a little bit due to the fact that this is out of whack a little bit. And if I can get those secure, then I know I'm not going to have any issues. Underneath here, there's going to be a lot more points that I can actually screw it to, because it went to the frame down underneath there. So we have a lot of areas that I can fix down here. That shouldn't be an issue at all. I still needed to fix up that mesh grill if I even want to use that, because it's barely hanging on there. And we just have a lot of body work to do. So I'm going to get started. I got to fill a lot of things. So it cracked all along here on the mold of the fiberglass. So all this filler stuff just needs to be refilled, sanded down, smoothed off. Hopefully we can get this thing painted on this episode, because that would be cool, and then get it put back on the car and get it secured. So let's get started. So guys, after about 2 days of prepping this, reinforcing things, I'm pretty excited because I think that this front bumper is going to be very stable now. I've put some fiberglass into areas that were just a little weaker, and I reinforced some of the drill points with metal, and there's still more to go. So this might be broken down into two videos, but I think I'm going to try to keep it as one where we reinstall the actual front bumper. So fill-in time. I'm going to be going and painting this a very different way than you guys might have ever expected, but trust me, I think it's going to come out really, really cool. But the main thing is it's going to be really easy to go with a high-end paint job in the future, or just to touch up if things get damaged. So what I'm going to do is, I was hoping to get the filler sandable primer, but this is a primer sealer. So this is going to go on first. I'm going to put probably this entire can on that front bumper because I want to make sure any light scratches, anything like that, is going to get kind of filled in. And then we're going to wet sand it down. And then we're going to spray it with this black primer. And I've got 2K clear coming in. So we're going to basically do this and the 2K clear in one session. And the 2K clear is a semi-matte. So the goal here is to get a satin black finish using a primer. I know that sounds crazy, but the goal behind that is if I wanted to go with a really nice paint job, they'd already have a couple layers of primer laid down, and we could do a little more body work very easily and then send it off to be high-end painted, or we can just run with it since it is going to be a track car. But I think you guys are going to like it. So let's get started. I'm going to start with this. I got everything set up. Let's go. So guys, two things I want to talk about, and the reasoning why I went with a light gray primer first is because you can see a lot of the imperfections that you don't see in the flat black. The reason why I want to go with the flat black for the top coat is because you won't see nearly as many imperfections. But I wanted to get rid of anything that was really bad along here specifically, and you can see this allows these type of things to get really pointed out. You can see with the black primer being the background, it allows me to then go through and really fine tune this. So now we're gonna let this thing dry fully. We're gonna bring it back outside. I'm gonna wet sand it, and then we're gonna do the flat black with a 2K clear. So I gotta wait for the 2K clear to arrive, and we'll get to that. So let's let this dry. You guys will see it. So I'm going to let this thing dry off. I'm going to bring it outside and wet sand it now, and then we'll move on to the final painting. So guys, up next is going to be this Max 2K clear. It's a clear satin. So I've never used a clear satin, only used the high gloss. This stuff is highly toxic, highly toxic. Make sure you read every warning about this. I can't say that enough. I'm going to be wearing goggles, mask, gloves, long sleeve shirt, and heavily ventilating that room. It's very humid out today, so I've got the AC way down, and I'm gonna have to crack the door open quite a bit while spraying this. I'm not gonna stay in the room once I'm done, so just be very cautious, but this stuff is going to make this entire project what it's going to be. So this is going to transform that primer, which you guys are probably being skeptical about, but I'm pretty positive it's going to come out amazing with this satin 2K clear, and it's going to basically give me what my vision is for this car, which is not a perfect car, but this car has a lot to go to become anywhere near perfect. But this is gonna make it look that much better. So stay tuned. I'm gonna get going on it now. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the bumper now that it's had a few days to cure. So as you guys saw, we put the 2K clear on here. It's like a satin type 2K clear. I think it was a semi matte. And I love the way it looks. It's exactly the finish I was looking for, but it didn't come out perfect, and I knew it was not going to. But that is why we're going to do this next step. We're going to go ahead and wet sand and polish this out now that this has had time to cure fully. And we're going to ignore some of the imperfections, because I knew when I started this bumper is going to get banged around. So we're in the process of doing another video where I'm putting on some quick release things so this bumper can be pulled on and off. And in that process, this gets banged around, trying to, line everything up and so forth. So I didn't want to go crazy on the body work, but we will do more of perfection body work on the rest of the car back, and maybe come back to this once we have this all fully set up and fix the little imperfections, which will actually be pretty easy due to the fact that we used a flat primer and a pretty easy 2K clear to spray on. So let's go ahead and set up now. Go ahead and wet sand and polish this out, and we'll put it on the car and take a look at it. Alright guys, so here it is, wet sanded, compound, and polished out, and it is exactly what I was hoping for. Now I've got another video following this video, or this one might be coming out right after that video, but that's going to be on installing these side clips here. So these are all quick release things. I've got quick release tabs up here, and we're putting wing nuts up underneath, so this bumper can be removed really easily, because it needs to be. This is going to be probably the most beat up piece on this entire car in the near future, because it's going to have to come on and off constantly. Specifically, once we go turbo this thing, we're going to have to be adding the intercooler and all that type of stuff, and the bumper just needs to come off easily. And if you know anything about these SC300s, the bumpers are very difficult to take off. So I'm so glad that I spent the time setting all this up, not going super overboard on the body work on this, but making it look nice. And I think it came out absolutely amazing for a one-day job using rattle can primer and rattle can 2K clear, and it's that perfect satin color that I was hoping for. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, if it came out as good as you guys hoped, if you would never have done this, or if you're looking forward to the rest of the car being done, because I've got a lot of surprises coming very soon. I'm glad you guys stuck with me on this 1996 SC300 drift build. This is the part of the series where we're doing the body kit, and I am excited to get this thing completely done and show you guys the final outcome. Once again, guys, I'm Pete. This is Pete's Carport. You guys have an awesome day, a blessed week, and I'll catch you on the next video.